Story 1. My mother-in-law approved of me because I almost shat myself in a cafe. I'm Arab-born and raised in Europe. A year and a half ago I married an Arab woman. 2. My wife wanted me to get her parents' approval before we get married, so when we decided to travel to France where her parents live, we met up in a nice cafe to get to know each other. Some context: it is important to know that I had recently finished my military mandatory enlistment in the Swiss Army. Shout out for getting me married and started working long hours again, which meant that my bowel movement was still set to army time, one shit every couple of days. You also need to know, my mother-in-law is an extremely anxious and fearful woman. She worries a lot about a lot of things, especially her daughter. So when I met her parents, I got myself a coffee, and not 5 minutes in, I started feeling dizzy. Whenever I tried to talk or breathe, I would get lightheaded and felt like I'm going to pass out. Now, I didn't know what was wrong, and my now mother-in-law was starting to get very worried for me. After about 5 minutes, I excused myself and went to the toilet. Let me tell you, I had never had such a huge shit in my life. I went from feeling like dying to waking up in heaven. I felt like I could run a marathon right then and there. When I got back to the table, I had an extremely well get to know each other with my wife's parents, and they loved me. Fast forward to about half a year ago, my wife tells me that her mother approved of me because she thought I was so shy, anxious and worried about meeting her parents that she saw herself in me. That I am a reserved, young, shy man that would certainly take care of her daughter because of how in touch with my emotions I am. Little does she know, I was about to pass out and shit all over the floor. Well, c'est la vie, I guess. Iola Boylan says, OMG, I love this story. Reminds me of my dog after he does his business. He gets the zoomies when he comes back inside because he's empty. I can just picture you all happy back at the table in your post-poop bliss. Sweeter Eric says, that's kinda wild honestly. Who knew bathroom struggles could bring family approval? Plus now you got a funny story for the future. Always good to keep it real with in-laws. Mycologist OK244 says, shit happens for a reason. Story 2, I caused my husband to pass out from a butt plug. Me and my husband need to get this off our chest. We have made a binding agreement with blood to not tell anybody we know about this, but also it's so funny we can't not tell someone, so my husband and I decided to spice things up in the bedroom with some anal play. As we were getting into it, I figured I'd take charge and tried to insert an anal toy into his bum. I was nervous as it was all new to me, but my husband encouraged me. Unfortunately for him, I got a bit too caught up in the moment and accidentally shoved the whole toy in, with one push, no warm-up. My husband yelped, leapt up in shock, and stumbled out of the bedroom. Picture me laying there folded up like an origami, not knowing what was happening. Moments later, I heard a muffled "I'm stuck." While still all tied up, I had to wiggle my way out of the restraints. When I finally freed myself, I sprinted downstairs to find him, butt naked, unconscious in the laundry basket. Apparently, he had fainted from the shock and had fallen headfirst into the wash bin. So much for spicing things up. Now we just need to add bruised egos to the laundry list of lessons learned. Edit. A lot of people have asked how I managed to insert the toy whilst tied up. I had leg restraints on that looped behind my head. They were adjustable and they were tightened so my legs were held up near my head. Hope that's visual enough. No avail. 2024 says, I have always thought it was fine for consenting adults to do whatever legal stuff they wanted to do, in private. Especially married adults. I now may have to rethink this. The critical member says, this is fantastic. Please don't delete it for at least 9 hours, I need to show my wife. Ishosh13 says, so tell, did you have to go to the ER to get it removed? Thanks for watching, I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.